Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks, and I am so grateful to be joining you today as the lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. On this beautiful Sunday morning, it has been an interesting last couple of days, but we are almost to football season. It is officially football week, and week one of the college football season officially kicks off on Thursday. Arizona State would typically play on Thursdays during the Todd Graham era and the Herm Edwards era, at least week one speaking. This year, Arizona State is beginning the season on a Saturday night against Northern Arizona, and the 11th ranked Sun Devils are locked and loaded to make a run for the Big 12 title once again for an appearance in the college football playoff. And I could not be more excited to cover this team. Thank each and every one of you for support, all of your support each and every day. It keeps me going. And before we get started in today's episode, please give me a follow on X/Twitter at khicks_21 if you get the opportunity to do so at the conclusion of this video. So yeah, yesterday I covered it. Practice was very fascinating. The scout team finally is in full force. The Verdi Dickey Dome was very, very humid in preparation for the game against Mississippi State 2 weeks from now. And it was an interesting practice. Like I said, that's really just the main way I can put it. But I thought we should do something interesting for this video today. And I keep on using interesting, but with the season comes talk about individual players. And obviously, the end goal for Arizona State is to make the college football playoff once again. There is no denying that. But it's also interesting to look at individual players, what they're projected to do, what their ceiling is, and everything in between. I wanted to look at 3 or 4 key players on the Arizona State roster and give a verdict or give a verdict on if they can eclipse specific statistical totals this season. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, let's start out today's episode by looking at Sam Leavitt. So, last season, Leavitt threw for 2,885 yards and ran for 443 yards. He threw for 24 touchdowns. So I believe that a good benchmark for his passing yards, expectation-wise, is probably about 3,200. But that's really just with the 12-game regular season in mind. I truly believe that he can eclipse 4,000 yards this season. I really, really do. So let's just say this is assuming 12 games are played. I would say I would take the over on the 3,200 yards passing, and I would probably take an under on 500 yards rushing. I believe that he will still have a solid rushing season, but maybe not as much as last season. I still believe he'll be a threat with his legs every single time he drops back, but I just don't think he'll run the ball as much. He ran the ball 110 times last year. I believe he'll run the ball more like 80 times this year, but we shall see. And touchdown-wise, he threw for 24 touchdowns last season. I'd say a good benchmark for this season is 30, and I think he'll hit the over on that as well. I think the Marcus Arroyo system is going to be the same structurally, obviously, but I think that the ball will be in the air more. I think that the receiving core that Leavitt has in tight end Shimon Mateer, in tight end Kamari Anderson, in the wide receiver core, obviously Jordan Tyson, who we will be mentioning later, Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Moss, Malik McClain. There are a lot of reliable targets downfield, and I really believe that Marcus Arroyo is going to trust Leavitt to be the distributor within the offense, to foster an efficient offense overall, and to really be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I really do think that Leavitt will throw 2.5 touchdowns a game during the regular season. And that might be underselling him. I really see the upside of having a Heisman-esque season in Tempe. but we shall see. The games have to be played, obviously. Let's go to Jordan Tyson next. So Tyson, as we all know, 75 catches, 1,101 yards, and 10 touchdowns last season in 12 games. I kind of believe that he will be right at 1,100 yards once again this season, assuming that this is the 12-game slate, not including postseason games. I see a world where Arizona State plays a couple of postseason games and Tyson gets his totals up to like 1,400, 1,500 yards. But I want to keep expectations tempered for now. Obviously, everything that you see out of Tyson from fall camp, from practices, has been unbelievable. He is an incredible player. He's a mismatch virtually everywhere on the field. But with all the extra mouths to feed this season downfield within the Arizona State offense, like I mentioned, the targets might be a little more evenly dispersed, although Tyson will obviously get most of the target. He'll get the plurality of the targets. I think that he'll probably roughly remain around the same statistical totals across the board. I could see him improving his touchdown totals. I think he could get a dozen touchdowns, maybe even as many as 14. I really do believe in Tyson this season to an extreme level. But like I said, the more targets downfield there are, the more possibility there is for the target distribution to even out. But we shall see. Now let's go to Xavion Alford. For Xavion Alford, last season he collected 2 interceptions, and I think he'll go over this season. I really do. He's been coming on strong in practice over the last couple of weeks. He obviously sat out for a couple of days due to a minor injury, according to Coach Kenny Dillingham, but he really is coming along, like I said. He has 5 career interceptions between his time at USC and his time with Arizona State. And going into his last year, I believe that he will take full advantage of Brian Ward's blitz-heavy scheme that's very aggressive, that likes to confuse quarterbacks, that really wreaks havoc. I believe that he will be the player that leads Arizona State in interceptions this season. It will either be him or Keith Abney, but I am confident saying that he could get as many as 4 interceptions this season. I really do believe that. And lastly, to end today's episode, I wanted to end with CJ Fight. So CJ Fight, obviously last season he came on strong, all Big 12 second team. He was a major factor in the Sun Devils finishing first in the Big 12 in run defense. His numbers don't look too gaudy. 30 total tackles, 2 sacks. He did secure a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and he did complete several tackles for losses. He did record several tackles for loss. But this season, I believe that he will eclipse the 2 sack total from last season. There are a lot of great pass rushers on the Arizona State roster. Kenny Dillingham has alluded to the fact that they got better individually and as a group, and I have seen that firsthand. And part of that is CJ Fight really improving his pass rush from the interior. He is more powerful, he is more agile, he is more comfortable in his own skin this season, even compared to last season. Last season he was absolutely superb virtually the entire season. But this 3-star recruit out of Tatum, Texas, is a future NFL player. Duron Reynolds has done an amazing job in developing him and getting the most out of him. And he is truly one of the most unique players on the roster. He has a great personality. He leads by example. He shows up to practice every single day and goes through the process with absolute professionalism. And I could not be more excited to see what CJ Fight can do this season. And I believe that he'll be an even better pass rusher this season compared to last season. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know what you think about the episode in the comments. I decided to do something a little different today in anticipation of the season starting. And that is all for today. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.